on Avatar.
You just missed it by. You were a second early. Hey, it was a solid intro. We'll work on that. We can get our timing down. It's going to sound great. Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, a.k.a. The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter, and kind of an interesting spin-off episode today. A hodgepodge of news and or newslight elements, toy-related things, unboxing-related things. I don't have an episode title for this show yet. I'm sure I'll come up with one later, but for now, I just want you to look over here. Yes, over here at those beautiful Mcfarland toys that will be the subject of some of our conversation. And just pretend they're a title. They're beautiful. Chris, how you doing?
I am doing decent. Nah, I'm doing fine.
Fine, decent, whatever. It's
Yeah,
it's
a little
close.
below my normal decency, I guess. Anyway, not
Oh, that's no
important.
good.
Uh,
Are you talking like if normal decent is an index of 1, are you talking you're still in like the 90s or, point nines, I mean? Slightly below the 1.
uh, oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Mm,
reasonable.
I like indices. No, doing fine. It's been a while. I feel like since we talked. I feel like we haven't really talked since almost a month.
Yeah,
Since
because we
maybe
we
not a month. 22nd.
well,
Yeah,
we
it's been
haven't
like 3 weeks.
recorded. We haven't recorded in a month if you don't really count
Yes,
like the quote unquote recording at Comic-Con. So like we talked there, but recording wise, we have not in quite some time. I do feel out of practice. Yeah.
I know, right?
How'd your daughter react to her treat that you
Oh
got
my
her from
gosh.
Comic-Con?
She loved that. She did. But I showed her the picture of me with Ladybug and this other person, and she reacted in the way I knew she would react. She was like, "Oh my gosh, why did you get to meet Ladybug?" And I'm like, "That wasn't really Ladybug, it's but
My wife was scanning through pictures and she's like, "What are these people supposed to be?" And it was the ladybug and the other side character. And I was like, "Oh, it's Ladybug." And Heather's like, "They're just dressed up as a ladybug." I was like, "You know what? I actually presume not, but I cannot confirm nor deny that.
No, it's a show.
Cosplay is getting
Ladybug.
very abstract these days. You just pick an animal."
Yeah. Miraculous, uh, t- Miraculous Tales, Adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir. So it's like a superhero show that my daughter watches that I got roped into, and I actually enjoy watching it. Also, like I wouldn't watch it without her, but I enjoy watching it with her. But that was great.
I
And I
think as
showed her
far
a
as kids
picture.
shows, that sounds like a big win.
Yeah. And I showed her a picture of me with some Dragon Ball Z characters, and she was also astonished by that because she's into Dragon Ball Z. She's into Dragon Ball Super way more than I am. I don't even enjoy watching Dragon Ball Super. And every now and then she'll be like, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super is better than Dragon Ball Z. And I'm like, no, it's not, kid. Like,
You're grounded. Go to your room.
I haven't let you watch Dragon Ball Z. You've only heard it through bedtime stories. Although now I'm letting her watch the Yu Yu Hakusho, which is not good. I might as well let her watch Dragon Ball Z now because the Yu Yu Hakusho is much worse, I think.
She she seems mature for her age. I think
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
he's
Z is
9.
probably.
I mean, it's different though. Like it's because it's kind of unedited. There's like blood and a little bit of
I gotcha.
cursing.
I gotcha. And what else have you been up to in the literal month of passing?
That's much. Just working. People get on my nerves at work, but I mean, it's not bad. Uh, they're not getting on my nerves. I'm probably getting on their nerves, wrongfully so.
Work
But
tends to do that to people, right? Like, happens.
yeah. Uh, no, things are really fine. Went to Oklahoma for the first time and since almost 2 years.
That's crazy. Yeah, pandemic
I don't know.
ruining everything. Uh,
Yeah, last time I was there was like Thanksgiving of 2019.
yeah, I guess by that Christmas, people were still mostly doing stuff, but then I want to say by that March, right? March 2020,
Oh
give
yeah,
or
yeah,
take, was like the total shutdown.
yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I'm glad you got to go back. Hopefully, it wasn't a horrible. It was a nice weekend. Wait, I guess it wasn't literally just last weekend that you went. It
No, it
was
was the weekend before. Last
okay.
weekend was
Last weekend was pretty nice, if I remember
wait, was that
correctly.
Labor Day? Yeah, that was Labor Day. Yeah, we went last weekend. It was fine.
Okay,
It was decent enough.
awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to go down there. And tell us then. We've only kind of briefly talked and didn't plan a whole lot for this episode. Tell me what you got in store. I know you've got
All right. Oh
several
yeah.
things you want to discuss and show.
So we're talking some Avatar news briefly, and then I'm gonna do a pretty I don't want to say deep dive, a detailed review of the new McFarlane toy line. I have purchased the first four action figures of Aang, Sokka, Zuko, and Katara, as you see on that screen there. I pre-ordered them all on Walmart.com. So right now it's exclusive to Walmart. I pre-ordered them. For some reason, the pre-order is getting hung up. But I saw them in the store, so I thought, I'll buy them in the store just in case the pre-order gets completely messed up. Because then I can just, even if I get them both, I can just return them. Walmart will accept any returns. They're very lenient with their return policy. So I will do a deep review of that, and we'll also compare them to some other Avatar figurines. And then first, though, we're going to go over some Avatar news that has recently hit the internets.
Excellent. Is that where you'd like to start? Do you want to do the
That's it.
news first? Awesome.
Yes, let's do the news
Let's do the
first.
news.
Man, there's a lot of people's faces. We already talked about. Click on that. Sure.
Avatar
We already.
Studios? Yeah, sure. Why
Yes.
not?
I do. So this is a sort of a plug to Avatar news. I do get a lot of news from Avatar news, but all right. Let's see here. Anyway, so we learned at the Paramount, whatever everything they had, the Avatar Studios was going to be a thing. They were going to make movies, or at least one movie, and then they were also going to make um, TV shows. Recently, a high up exec at Paramount was like, "Oh, we're working on Avatar movie. It'll be a CGI 3D film," and that is big news because previously we didn't know what it was going to be. I just assumed it was going to be a 2D animation, just the same way that Legend of Korra is, and Avatar: Last Airbender is, because that's what Mike and Bryan is very used to doing. Specifically, Bryan, he's the one that kind of leads the animation team on that. But apparently, it's going to be CG. Just like your Pixar films, just like your Disney films. Which honestly, I'm disappointed in that. I'm very disappointed
There's
in
nothing wrong
that.
with it. I just don't need that. I would have been extremely, would it
I
like
was
just ignorantly super happy with 2D animation.
I was very excited for a renaissance of 2D animation
At this
because I
at
felt
this time, is it safe to say that CGI is cheaper or easier than 2D
I
animation?
assume it's much cheaper.
At this in this day and age, at least.
Maybe not much
I
cheaper. I assume it's as cheap but easier to
just
do. And this
easier to
is
work with.
yeah, and also this is from my very limited knowledge. But once you got something into computer, right, it's I don't know, things are a little bit just more manageable.
Once you build those models in and you build in all their little animations and functions and stuff, I imagine it's
Yeah.
very long term reusable. But
Yeah. It's like, hey, do I want to change this person's outfit? Okay. Let me just change their outfit and we could
changed.
do it. Do I want to change their design a little bit because I realized this? Okay. Like if you did it to 2D animations, like, no, we can't do that. We can't do it. We'll have to reanimate.
We'll have to send it back across overseas and have it
Yeah.
totally redone. And no, I think long term it's probably a safer play. I don't know
But
anything about the cost, but I guess I get it, even if I'm a little sad.
yeah, I'm so sad. Like, because the last big film that had a big 2D theatrical release, I believe, was The Princess and the Frog. And there's just something so good about 2D animation. Like, even though it's less 3D, has less dimensions, it feels more lively and vibrant than 3D and your typical Pixar. I mean, I'm sure they can, sometimes studios go above and beyond, I feel like Sony did um, with Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. I feel like that was 3D animation, but it did a little something extra. It was kind of cell shading with some extra just pizzazz in it.
It really was
Um,
maybe the most vibrant 3D film, 3D CGI film that I can think of in terms of
yeah,
just very high, like a 2D energy to it almost.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I
Um,
It's just an opinion, but it doesn't matter for me if it's art, video games, movies, TV, whatever. 2D, just a good flat 2D will always be my preferred mode because I'm an old person and I like them 2D video games and
like
2D animation.
I don't know. I mean, I just haven't seen anything. Which I guess a good kind of test for this. Oh, I'm sorry. Once I ask these.
I feel like I have to fill this dead air while Chris is sneezing. You can't see him, and that's funny. Nobody can see him sneeze right now. I'll just narrate
Yeah,
for him. Chris sneezed a
yeah.
sneeze.
We can take off this Avatar news because I didn't even read from that article.
Oh
Uh,
well, that's fair.
that's okay.
For the record, though, that's avatarnews.co if you're
Oh, that's
interested.
weird. Why is
.co. Don't know what it means.
why they drop all their
I don't know.
M's? That's interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
I don't know the internet's well enough to have an answer.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know. Just disappointed. I'm sure I'm gonna love it anyway. I'm sure. Maybe this would be a good time to revitalize 3D animation because honestly, 3D has gotten pretty dull. Like when I see a Disney film, I'm like, yeah, the animation's
The
great, it's
same.
beautiful, but it's I'm not seeing anything new. Like it's just and sometimes it just feels a little dull. And I'm sure Bryan is gonna bring something new to the table.
I hope so.
Oh,
I hope so.
I was saying that there was a person who's just independent on their own did some test animation, 3D animation of Avatar, and it looked pretty good, but it's still I don't know, just feels a little different. And that's not how necessarily how the movie would be, but just kind of give you a feel of. You can look that up. They've done some good work though. Like they've done some good animation. Uh, he Theo recently sent us one of that person
And that
where it's
was
like Aang and he goes into like the Avatar state. That looked really good actually. It just I don't know.
fans
I
are
just
so good. Stuff.
they're like who the heck? Like I mean I get it. Like this is like if you want to get into 3D animation, a good thing to do is to show what you're capable of doing.
Yeah,
Even
just
even
go do it.
yeah, even though you won't get paid for this, even though honestly Nickelodeon might be like, this looks too good, take that down. That's a compliment.
It's a threat. No, I totally
Yeah.
yeah. If you're good at it, you love Avatar. Hey, just go do it. I'll find whatever the thing is that I can just go do someday in support of Avatar. Probably
Yeah.
this. This is as close as I'm getting.
Yeah, maybe one day uh Brian and Mike will call me up to consult.
And
Like
tell us to.
that's the
Oh,
best I
I thought
could
you were gonna
do
say and
is
tell us to take it down.
that's
You guys
the
rated
best
some episodes a little low for my taste.
thing. Like I feel like I could be a decent consult, not a writer. I'm not talented enough to be a writer on the show. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I do write. No, I haven't took writing classes. I commend writers out there. But I can consult you on being like, you know what might make more sense is this and this. And as an audience member, I didn't connect these two dots, so maybe make that a little bit more clear. So I could do that stuff. But no, I'm not going to help you out in the writer's room necessarily in of writing dialogue between characters. But I
Consultant
think
got a nice ring to it though.
yeah, hire me. Honestly, I think I have great ideas to make Aang a much better character for the live action show.
You would do it for
Uh,
free too. I know this. For if
yes.
they called you and like Chris, what do you think? You'd be like, "What's it worth to you?" It's not a Chris Ford reaction to that question.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that is like the first big piece of news. We got a little bit of other news came straight from Brian and some interview that I wasn't able to look up, but I have. It's just about Avatar Studios and some of their other works and what we can expect. Give me a quick second. I
Yeah, I'm
can
gonna see if I
read.
can find anything. It just
Here we
says
go. Okay.
Avatar: The Last Airbender's new series and movies are years away.
Yes.
Is the
Yes.
is the piece I see from
Yep.
Gizmodo.
Yes. So it says in recent talks with Rise Up Animation, uh, Mike, Brian said, Mike and I were building an awesome team very slowly at Avatar Studios. Small team, but we're working our way up, and it will be years before that stuff's out. But so excited to share all that with everybody. We've got a bunch of cool stuff in the works. So that's cool to hear. Just a bunch. When I hear bunch, I think that's like how you assign a number value to different words. Like a couple, that's two. Few, that's like three or four. Several, to me, that's like six or more. A bunch, to me, would have to be like at least four.
I agree. I think bunch is a minimum of four, but I think at this stage, is it fair to say that that bunch could kind of just be like extremely, extremely raw idea stage for that bunch of
Mm.
things.
It could be, yeah.
Right, like they're laying all the ideas out on the table, and there is a bunch of them, and they're probably all pretty good ideas. We were talking about people probably been thinking about this for a while, but
Yeah.
remains to be seen how many will come to life.
Yep.
But I don't know this stuff that well. That's just me hypothesizing.
But that's the news. So I'm not surprised at that. I wish I could tell you the timetable between when they first pitched Avatar and when it first came on TV. I want to say it's like 2 years or so. Probably more than that.
I know we've even talked about that before. So if you go back and watch every single episode we've ever recorded, and you'll
Hmm.
find that tidbit of information somewhere. That's your homework, internet.
Do that.
Do that. Tell us what we said, if you don't mind, because it's been a long time.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the news.
Not great news, but not bad news. Let's be real. Let's be realistic.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Just gosh, disappointed.
I do. I
Uh,
have this as a person who considers himself a gamer, but I'm not really a gamer. I say I'm a gamer, but I'm not. And part of the reason I can say that out loud is because I adamantly refuse to play anything even remotely modern because I'm horrible at it. So I like that flat 2D animation. I have a very vivid imagination, and that just tends to play a little better with 2D. I think like my
there's just a
imagination
warmth.
works in 2D.
There's just a warmth in 2D animation. Like I feel like firebending is would come off so different in 3D animation. Like I don't know.
The What's the name of that Marvel movie? I'm supposed to know it, but I'm not a Marvel guy, and I'm gonna get stoned.
That's an animated movie. Shang-Chi and the
Shang-Chi.
Legend of the Ten Rings.
And you mentioned the bending in that, and that was like CGI bending, and you mentioned it not bending, but
Uh,
we're gonna call
well,
it
it was.
bending here.
I mean, yeah, it will have to be CGI. Yeah, I just didn't like how it looked in that movie. I watched it. Movie's fine. Movie's good. There's the I got so much Yang Chen vibes from his mom in the movie. There's a scene. That's not a spoiler because it happens in like the first 5 minutes, whatever. I'm like, oh my crap, that's like Yang Chen right there. She's like doing some airbending, but it was like a cross between Avatar: Last Airbender bending and the Last Airbender bending. Like there
Oh,
was a lot of movement, and then there was a little bit of movement and then motion. It didn't seem like air was an extension of her, and so I really hope with the Avatar series, live action series, it doesn't come off as that. Like I hope they don't watch the movie and they're like, this movie's successful. We should do bending like that.
that clearly worked. The box
Yeah,
office says this bending is good.
yeah.
I'm sure that's how they make those decisions.
The thing is, the Last Airbender probably make more money than Shang-Chi. Nah, I doubt it. Shang-Chi's a Marvel
Yeah, I
movie.
was gonna say that's a big
It's just
ask.
that the times are different now. You know,
Fair, yeah, that's fair.
the
But
Last Airbender actually I think
Shang-Chi's
made
like
like
breaking
400
records,
mil.
isn't it?
I mean, no,
No.
it's breaking made up records. Like the most the best 4 day weekend during the pandemic.
So those really
Like
obscure,
I
yeah,
don't care about
best weekend for
this.
a time when theaters were kind of open.
Yeah. Like, and also it's just so hard to measure success, right? Because the Suicide Squad came out, and I'm not gonna say Suicide Squad was a box office hit because it really wasn't. But it's just hard to tell because that movie also came out with a day and day release on HBO Max, which was at no additional cost. So you can't really even measure, compare them. Before it was like apples to apples. Like this movie came out, this is what it made. But now it's like, well, this movie came out, and so many people watched it on this, and they're gonna get money from that on HBO Max, and it made this much money at the box office. But also at this point in time, Delta was rising. Okay, well this movie came out. Okay, well Delta wasn't there. People didn't care. Like, oh, it's all apples and it's comparing apples and oranges in televisions right now.
It is a different ball game, and I can
Yeah,
tell you that as a not nobody wants to sit next to me in a theater because I wiggle around too much. So I'm sure there's lots of other humans like me that yes, the HBO Max presence is welcome, very
yeah, yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this toy review, which I was gonna make a video myself on this, but I've been lacking so much inspiration wise to create videos. So I'm just like, eventually I can just turn this into a podcast idea. Although it would be a much better video if I just did it, because I'll be able to like zoom in on certain aspects, and I would be able to have a better, I don't know, picture quality
Yeah,
also.
sheer camera
But
quality alone, but I'm gonna blow you up as big as I can here at least,
I'm
and
very big.
I'm just
Just
gonna
I guess that's kind of how big I am usually
well,
when I
camera quality
record.
is gonna be so much
Yeah.
better when it's not how we're currently doing it. But we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna go real
You
small
know
up
what
here.
though? I might be able
I'm gonna
to.
hide right above Appa's head. There we go.
How do I switch? Let's
Have
see
I
if
ever
this.
rearranged stuff live on the video before? That feels pretty unprofessional. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm very sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm not. It's part
Is
of life.
this is this somewhat better quality?
Yeah, that looks pretty solid. I can see everything. I can
Okay.
tell what it is.
All right, that's good enough. All right. Even though you won't be able to see my face though,
I
so
just like
sorry.
Appa's little head like peeking out of the corner over there. What you doing, Appa?
Yeah. All right. So put that over there. No, way over there. I want to out of sight. No, out of sight. I said. Stop. All right. So I got these four four figures here. Uh, First, I want to talk about the packaging. First, no, let's talk about price point because that's very important. So usually, McFarlane figures, they start off their retail at 19.9, and they're like 7-inch figures. So to put that in perspective, let me grab one real quick. Dang it, I don't want to grab that one. Man, I guess I will. It's right there. Oh no, I dropped it. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Uh, so this is like a McFarlane Dr. Fate action figure. It's a 7-inch figure. McFarlane is known to make really good toys, really detailed. Like if you look really deep in there, like has very good detail and in everything. That's often how their figures are. So it's kind of a 7-inch base, if you will. So that's kind of the 7 inches would kind of be the. Oh, there's a bunch of McFarlane figures over there because I love these McFarlane figures. Um, and so it's kind of the base of your
That King
average
Shark looks
person.
great.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's might be my favorite action figure right now.
King Shark.
Yeah, it was a build a figure. You buy four figures, you get a piece of King Shark in each one.
Nice.
Um, so usually they retail for about 19.9, and right now I'm holding up this Robin one because when they first announced they were doing McFarlane action figures, I figured, oh, all right, well, figured. Sorry, I figured that scale wise, they'll be probably about this Robin's height because Robin is not, taller than Dr. Fate in the actual, in the sense of it. He's actually short now, but scale wise, I figured this is where a lot of the characters might be at. But that's not the case. Scale wise, they're actually a lot kind of shorter than that because these aren't the same scale. Usually, McFarlane does 7-inch figures. This figure here is about a 5-inch figure. But the good thing with that is that it's actually $9.99 when it's usually $19.99. So the price is cut in half, and you cut about 2 inches off, which I guess isn't bad. I could
I
tell from
mean,
a
that to me that seems like a great trade off. I'll happily sacrifice a little size, but I'm not
yeah.
not an action figure authority. But I like how that sounds.
I mean, yeah, I get it. um, and so that's how these figures came in. And I'll do some comparisons to previous Avatar figures. They've recently Avatar has been working with Diamond Select, but they must have stopped that partnership because they started with McFarlane, which I think is kind of smart. But clearly, they were kind of going for a good opening price point. If you're talking business wise, what they were trying to do. So here is the Aang, and also age wise, you see here this says 6 plus. So they're really trying to market it to opening price point, 2 kids. Oh man, I got this all wet. How did that happen? Doesn't matter. Um, oh, I got it wet with water. Oh well. So they're marketing 2 kids. You can see that 6 plus. While other McFarlane figures, it's kind of more for like for collectors, right? It's like usually 12 and up. and they tailor them kind of for man babies like myself.
Yeah. Well, and something even,
Man
and this
child,
is
I mean.
probably, there's probably names for this, and I'm sure I'm ruining it all, but even the difference between the like the hang tag packaging on the 9.99 Avatar
Exactly.
figures versus the box, it just has a different
Yes.
vibe to it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you can tell they're, although weirdly enough, I actually like this packaging. At first I didn't because I like the bots, but this has a pretty good display quality, clear packaging all over, so you can see the character inside, and also I like the avatar say Aang in the background there. I think it's good packaging. The thing is, once you open it, the packaging, unlike the boxes,
Yeah.
the packaging is completely ruined. You should just throw it away. And I'm the type of person that opens up all my stuff, and I keep the boxes, but I probably won't be keeping these. But I will open up these bad boys.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
can
start
see
off
it wouldn't
with,
make as much sense to keep that packaging.
yeah. Actually, let's start off with the water trap people. So this is Katara and the bots. She does come with a little water bending
Oh,
action
neat.
here. Or should I open this up? It doesn't
Top
matter.
right. Top right.
Top, okay, whatever. This is gonna hurt so bad. Yeah,
This
this is the
feels like
show.
Christmas to me. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. Um, and the thing about McFarlane, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of texture in here. Lots of texture.
I can even kind of see the matte grain through the camera, which is nice.
You said green?
Grain,
Grain. Okay,
the
cool.
the
I
matte
was
with
like,
two T.
Shawn, you are colorblind, Shawn.
I have problems. No, the matte with two T's grain. I can almost kind of see it through the
Yeah.
camera. And that's nice. It looks really nice.
And one thing I'll say, they like I said, McFarlane does a really good job with detail. Like her hair, this is very, very detailed hair, right? They got the
Mhm.
hair loopies, and they even got the braids coming down. Like that, that's very much like the show. Like uh the translation, I think is really good. The thing I don't like, oh wait, no, never mind, wrong figure. I was about to get to another figuring, but always has good posability with McFarlane. I think what he tries to do oftentimes is you're able to pose the figure, but it doesn't look like an action figure, I guess. But
You
they're
pose it, and it still looks like a static statue, even in a
yeah,
different pose.
yeah. So this is actually really good quality here. Like this is, I'm really impressed with this, and I collect a lot of action figures. But so there is Katara. I think it's a
Very
good figure.
lovely. Faces
Yeah,
on action figures always feel weird to me, but I say that and
they
I choose
do.
my words very carefully. It's literally always.
Although I don't know what to do, how to
Does it? It doesn't like fit
special
in her
this.
hand or something.
Oh, wait a minute. I guess
Maybe
it
it would
does.
be weird to kind of come directly from her hand.
I
It
mean,
would be
no, shoot, I'm about to break this.
disingenuous to the show, but I have a feeling that's how it
I mean,
is.
she's done a water whip before.
When she kind of, but it still originates
There we go.
from. It still originates like. I guess that looks like she's pulling away from you almost, so I can get on board with that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
Okay,
that's cool.
nicely done.
Actually, I think this is actually working out well that I switched cameras. All right, let's go to Sokka. So again, same packaging, everything. Oh, one thing I really like about these figures is that I feel like they get their skin tones a lot more closely to the show. That's often something difficult to match. I just got to throw away this. It hurts my soul.
To open them.
Yeah, because I'm just destroying the box. Like, I'm like that's a good packaging.
Yeah, I I get the idea of being able to display the whole way around, but the
It's kind of
reusable boxes are very attractive.
yeah. It's kind of interesting. Sokka doesn't have like the same kind of material as Katara's is because this is like Katara's. It's like her fur, her winter kind of coat, and so you can kind of see and feel that thickness. While Sokka's is more like fabricy, more light fabric.
Interesting. Wonder if that was on purpose. Presumably so, but
Yeah. But Sokka's figure looks pretty good as well. Like I said, McFarlane is so detailed. Like if you look at the boots, You can see how he's trying to emulate leather. Like this is actually like really good for 9.99. Like it's I think it's crazily good for 9.99. You
Well,
just don't
and
get this much detail in 9.99.
considering it has the most important feature of all.
Yeah. And then he has his boomerang with him.
Yep, there
So
it is. The most important feature of all.
yeah. And then his boomerang can like easily sit in this little backpack thingy
Oh,
here.
he's got a boomerang. What am I going to call
Oh,
that?
that shit looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of sick. A
Yeah, it
holster?
can
I'm going to call it a holster.
yeah, a boomerang holster. And it kind of hugs in there. Like that's not coming out. That's
Yeah, to take it out
pretty good.
purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's neat.
if it was the other way where he'd be able to reach behind his head with his right hand and grab it at the throwing base, right? So he could like
Mm,
whip it right out of there would be perfect.
that's a good question.
I know. I've never seen him whip it out of a holster before though, so
Yeah.
which is out of context a weird thing to say out loud.
I really like these boots for some reason. That's what's
They have a nice
oh,
worn
and
leather
then
to them, and as people
yeah,
will know, we're shoe people. We get it.
that's true.
But
And then
a nice worn leather look.
his bandages or whatever you call them. No, not bandages, not the word I'm looking for. But they're also really good too. You can kind of see some of that detail there. All right. Dang it. Now I got to reach down and grab some. Let's go with Aang. I know I do got to get up and get these ones that I took out of screen.
We we can't see how you're oriented, so we're not sure where your strain is coming from. But thank you for narrating.
I feel like I'm gonna like put this chair back over and no, you stay. No, I guess right there. Okay, so next up, Aang. Again, packaging done. Now this does in the line is an Aang that has an open air glider with him. Um, so I pre-ordered that one as well. Hopefully I get that one because it has like a full open air glider that he can glide on. Uh,
Smooth.
oh no, drop this glider. Okay. So another, you don't. I feel like you don't get that much detail here, but you get a lot of detail with shoes again, the
I
boots.
can still see the texture
Yes.
on his outer orange.
Yep, definitely still some texture there. Um, the oh, this elbow's kind of weird. There we go. Not as weird anymore. Looks like his elbow's bending out like it was like it
He's
was broken.
oh my. Well, he's double jointed.
But
That's a fact you didn't know about Aang from the
that's
show.
true.
He's double jointed.
Uh, but so one thing I do think they captured his like the joy in his face very well. I think it's a good translation there, and yeah, he has good mobility and
Good
everything.
articulation, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely the word.
I feel like I feel like open glider Aang also just to see the glider in his hand. Well, it'll be fun.
Yeah, here's a closed glider, and let's see, get that in there, fit that. Nope, I hate putting things into characters' arm into
Yeah,
because
I'm
no, it's
always
just
worried about which piece I'm actually gonna break.
yeah. Take it. There you go. Oh, it's kind of my least favorite so far. I think it's okay. It's good.
He
But
seemingly has the sort of most minimalist features, but that's consistent with Aang as a character, I suppose.
yeah. All right. Zuko. So this should,
Opposite of Aang.
you know what? Let's go top right, top left this time, or just.
You could have opened one from each corner, like
Oh, open
a
up
real
this one actually
Avatar
better. I
synergy.
think.
Yeah, that's kind of
Open up
smooth.
this. Oh man, doesn't matter. I'm still not keeping it really. All right. So Prince Zuko. The thing I really like about this figure is that the hair is kind of flowing in the wind
Yeah, it's
here. I
nice.
like that. And also, great facial features here. Yeah, the hair just really flows well. And
Strong scar detail.
I really like how much they added uh, to this armor here. I feel like he really went out up and above and beyond on this detail here. And I feel like this detail that's not in the show. Like in the show, it looks fairly flat, but here he's adding some depth to it.
He
I say
looks.
he. I know it's a. I say he because it's McFarlane figures, but I know there's a litany of whole group of people who's involved in making these.
I think he's my favorite so far. I appreciate his thorough
Yeah,
detail. I feel like his face in particular is the most accurate in my opinion of the faces, but
yeah.
purely opinion. He looks great.
Uh, yeah. And that's let's see here. Anything on the back? But yeah, he looks. I thought there's so much detail packed into this, and like the color of the red, it's really good. Oh, it's just a really good figure. He comes with two kind of fire daggers. So you put. Ugh, no, that's.
This just makes me want to play with Lego.
Are you one of those people who who doesn't add the S when you're talking about
Chris, there is no
Lego plural?
S. There is
Okay,
no S when you're talking about Lego plural. One of
that's
those people. I am
that's
right.
so. I think it's on the Real Dodgers Fake Friends podcast. It's a thing that Donald Faison is like yells at Zach Braff. Like Zach Braff is like, I want to go play with my Legos. And it's like, there's no S on it. It's the plural of Lego is Lego. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take his side. He's all over it.
But these are some good little fire daggers here.
Yeah,
Uh,
they look fantastic.
yeah. So one thing I did want to do is I have three Zuko figures here from three different companies. Three companies. Anyway.
Heyo. Is that your second
uh,
pun on this podcast? I believe it
uh-huh.
is.
Okay. Uh, so this one here is when Avatar first launched their action figure line, and it's the same as I think as this one here. But man, you can just see this difference here. Thing is, I love this figure. I really do. I remember when I bought it. It was like on episode 3 of our podcast,
Yeah,
maybe
you were
episode
very
2.
excited.
It's still a great figure. But
And you
man,
got
this
him
McFarlane one,
from vintage
yeah, from Vintage
stock in
Stock.
one of their kind of loose leaf bag
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah, I
recall
think I
that.
got it for like maybe $4. It probably, if I had to guess, at the time retail for probably like $7.99 or something like that back in the day. But this is also a fairly good figure, but it lacks. I don't know, it looks a lot more plasticky, right?
It
And it feels more
looks more
plasticky.
like an action figure than a statue, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Here, let me take off his mask. And he doesn't have. And he has some. Oh, he doesn't have as good of a facial expression as this one.
No, not quite.
Yeah.
He just looks
Uh,
kind of flatter and I don't know. It just looks more like a toy and
it
less of a statue.
yes, yeah. It looks like a toy. It looks like a kid's play toy, right? And this looks like, nope, don't play with that. That's not for playing. This one here is for playing. But it's funny, just like the thing is, I tell my kids, like, don't play with any of that. None of it's for play.
Those are not toys.
Exactly. But it's kind of funny just to see, interesting just to see the detail that McFarlane put into it, right? So, like this is way more golden, this belt buckle than this. This is like just brown. Um, just the colors here are just more in depth and everything. Oh, I wonder if I could put this mask on there. Oh, I
Oh,
can.
not bad. You can tell it's different plastic though.
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
not saying you should let that bother you, but you can. There's visually.
Yeah. Interesting enough. So McFarlane, for some reason, is they released these 9.99 ones, but then they're also releasing 19.99 $20 ones, and they're going to be the 7-inch figures. Um, and so I don't know why they're releasing two of them though, but I'm still buying them both. But okay, so this is the thing I hate most about the McFarlane figures though, right? So here's Zuko, here's Aang. They are. Oh, I guess Zuko is taller
There's a
than Aang.
little difference. Maybe not as much as it feels like there should be,
Yeah,
but at least there's some amount of
yeah.
scaled height difference.
I guess there is. Yeah, there is a little
It
bit.
feels a little shorter than or not as
It just
well,
it just
coincidentally,
feels
but
a little different. So here is an Aang figure from Diamond Sled Toys, and it is like a little bit taller, but also these Diamond Sled toys start retailing at about I think 16.9, somewhere around there. Some of them are like 19.9. So, yeah, they range anywhere from 16.9 to 19.9, depending on if you get it from like Walgreens or something like that. And then here is the Zuko Diamond Select one. Okay, it looks big right here because I'm holding it close to the camera. But
forced perspective, just like The
yeah.
Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings.
And so I just find
That
this
feels
scale,
more satisfying.
yeah. And
I
so
will
that's kind of
say, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my biggest gripe is that it's the scaling.
I think the Diamond Select color palette doesn't look as good to me. It's almost too muted in all of its colors, skin tone, clothes colors.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care as much for the color palette. That again, just
And
opinions.
then and then I do not like this hair on the Zuko at all.
Yeah, that's
This
kind of
hair is
weird.
it's looks very weird.
Aang's
And then I
stick
was
looks gray. His glider looks gray, kind of.
yeah. Well, this is his most recent one. You know, he changed gliders.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. All right, but I will say this though. I love Dime Slet on some of their toys because I think they do a good job in accessorizing. So I have over here uh, a Avatar Aang, Avatar State versus Ozai, and I really like how this is set up. I really like Ozai. Like looks, and I've showed this before. Like he looks freaking ripped out of his mind. I think that's a great figure.
And
And then here's
that
Aang.
is some anime flowy hair that Ozai has too.
Yeah. And then here's Aang using all four elements kind of against him. And so that I think is really cool. I think I'm sure McFarlane would kind of do stuff like that as well. But the thing I do hate about these Diamond Sled figures is they're not very posable. Like I have an Aang figure and I'm pretty sure I broke its arm. Oh yeah, this one. Pretty sure I broke its arm. Did I? Yeah, yeah. I should just not mess with that. Because I was just like, oh, it bends this way. Nope, it does not bend that way. Um, so just gotta be a little more gentle with those. I feel like McFarlane is just a little bit better quality. What else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about. No, maybe that's it. Oh, yeah, I think that's it on the McFarlane piece. I did get a couple
At a ten
new.
dollar price point, those look awfully good.
You cannot beat this for $10 at all. Like it's a great price point. I probably, if I'm putting on my business hat, I probably would retail this at 12.9. Uh, Honestly, probably no 14.9. Yep, 14.9, and probably get away with it. And then if I couldn't sell it at that regular price, I would put it on sale at 12.9. And if I really was desperate, then 9.9. But putting on my merch planner hat,
Just trying to start at 99, just trying to get them off the shelves fast.
yeah.
Or
But
if you put it, gosh, the world of pre-orders does change things in a way that we never really had to deal with shoes.
yeah,
So I
uh,
wonder, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the advantages or disadvantages of a 12.9 or a 14.9 or a 9.9 via pre-orders.
well the thing is that oftentimes I pre-order figures uh because one thing you buy from Amazon, if the price changes between you pre-order and you get it, they'll give you the money back. And sorry for plugging that
Sorry for blaming the
Amazon for those
devil,
people.
but no, it's totally
Yeah.
true.
Ooh, I do like seeing all these right here though. Um, this is just like a nice color palette. I
It is.
think this bottom row. What was I gonna say?
Lots of good fiery reds and oranges in there.
Yeah. Um, I forgot what to say. But oh, pre-ordering. Yeah. The reason why I tend to buy things before they go on sale is because sometimes things run out. You don't know what's that going to be, and you don't know if they ever restock. And so, oftentimes, the figures that I want, I don't really wait for them to go on sale. I just buy them at regular price.
Well, and at $9.99, you can do that like 100%
Yeah,
shamelessly.
yeah, definitely. I absolutely recommend getting these 9.99 McFarlane figures. They will be coming out with some 7-inch 19.9 figures soon. I'm saying U.S. retail on all this, but I highly recommend it.
They look
And who knows?
tremendous, and
Maybe
Appa in the bottom left of our screen looks very happy about it.
yes, yes. I have. I'm really excited to get Appa because I like the current Appa I have, which came from this line of action figures, and I'm really curious
I
to
remember when you
see
got that
how
Appa
they
as
compare.
well, and he
Yeah,
makes a
still,
noise.
yeah, still love that Appa.
He has appeared on many a podcast episode.
Yeah. Um, change things a little quicker. I did get some new pops. I got May, which was a BAM exclusive. I don't really like reviewing pops so much. I mean, it's a good figure. There's just not that much to talk about
What
with them.
is
They're not that.
BAM?
Books a Million.
Oh, interesting.
They're
She
in. You can find one in what is that?
Mall?
Outside Outlet
Oak
Mall.
Park?
Why can't I think of it? Outlet Mall. That's sort of like
Legends?
Legends.
Okay.
There we go. You can find it at Legends. And then I got a. I think I already showed you Ty Lee that I got before, and then I found Blue Spirit. I think you might have seen that also. I have Blue Spirit at a Hot Topic. So
I feel like to hold true to the Blue Spirit, you should hide him on your shelf where he's kind of obscured.
yes, yes, I keep him like slightly here. Oh wait, let me lift up
Where
my.
you have to look pretty hard to see him. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I have him right, like right behind Zuko and A.
That's a good spot. Only visible to those paying attention. May translated very well her little grumpy face. She translates well.
She did, she did. Yeah, they got those. I think it's the eyebrows that does it.
Pulls it all together. Let's yeah, so I pulled up the website here just to scroll through to
Yeah,
show
so that will be. There's a.
there's Open Glider
Oh
A.
man,
Yeah.
yeah. Target has an exclusive, that one right there with the hat on. Should I buy that? I shouldn't buy that.
Sure you
Hmm.
should. Why not?
Sure, I should. Yeah. This one. Oh, they're also releasing. So there's this Aang
12-inch
figure.
pre-order Avatar stating. Nice.
Yeah. So I've pre-ordered those three to the bottom right. Uh, that's not the Go label. That one. That one. That one. Those two in the middle are 99. Those ones will be coming out. Zuko has sort of a different angrier expression, and Aang looks a little different. And then that's a 12-inch statue. I pre-ordered that, and it's a pretty good price. I
Yeah,
don't.
he looks
This is the
great.
first time. This is the first time McFarlane has done a statue that I'm aware of recently, and it'll be interesting how that goes because I do love Diamond Sled statues. I'm disappointed we probably won't ever get a Toph statue again because I think once Diamond Sled stopped doing their action figures, I assume they'll stop doing their statues. And also, McFarlane's doing statues now, but I was really hoping we'd get a Toph one just to complete the four elements because we got Aang, we got Katara, and we got Zuko. Um, my Zuko one should be coming in a month or so. It keeps getting delayed. But we just didn't get a Toph. I just really wanted a Toph one.
That does it. It hurts the hurts the
Completionist.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like it hurts the OCD, but then I always feel like that's kind of rude to people who actually have OCD. Hurts the completionist in me. Oh, they went with they kind of went the other direction with Katara. With
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
either way, whatever. Yours looks
No,
like
yeah.
she's water whipping, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing your toy review. Thanks, McFarland, for pricing your toys in such a way that they can be available to a literally massive audience.
They can. Yes.
Literally anybody that walks through Walmart with a kid.
Although I haven't seen them, and so I bought those in Walmart, but I think they're selling out kind of fast. Go online, try and find it. I pre-ordered mine a long time ago when they're first available for pre-order. Still haven't gotten them. So I went in the store and bought those. Still hoping to get them. I'll probably still keep them. Every now and then I think about like, oh, we have plans for next Comic Con, and maybe we'll let's plan at City Comic Con, and maybe we'll have like a giveaways or something. Maybe we'll have a competition or something, and I
That'd be
can have
awesome.
stuff to give away.
Our competition is if you tell us that you've listened to one of our episodes before, you win.
If you find us on the con floor,
I will. I'll personally take out one of these $10 figures and I'll hand it to you right there and say thank
yeah.
you. That made my day.
No, I'm thinking maybe you could win in like a trivia or
Or
something.
that. That sounds
Yeah,
more
but
interesting.
we got big plans for next Planet City Comic Con that
Although
they don't know about yet.
I was gonna say, is that gonna be in May or would that be a quick turnaround?
April. It's
April.
gonna be in
Sorry, I
April.
always say
Yeah.
May. Okay. Yeah, that'd be a quick turnaround, but we're excited. We'll be ready. I'll have a. Oh, I already forgot. My wife said she's gonna sew me something, and I already forgot what it was. Oh, an Air Nomad costume so I could be Boomy. Spray my hair
Oh,
gray,
nice.
get it all crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was thinking, who? Maybe someone told me this. Like, they're just like, you can just go as Korra. I was like, oh, I could go as Korra.
Yeah, why not?
Um, yeah, why not? I think Korra dresses like so, in a unisex kind of way that it would work.
What's the
Um,
androgynous? Is that the word I'm looking for?
no, I
Kind
believe
of an
that's the
androgynous
word.
word.
Yeah. Then again, hey, dress as you want. As anybody dresses. I mean, I don't really like dressing like. Oh, Kyoshi, I would hate makeup.
I it,
No, I would not do.
it's not that it's super hot in there, but like on the walk to and from the car and everything. Although it was August as opposed to if it's in April again. Um,
Yeah.
I want something comfy, so some standard. It doesn't matter. It could be Water Tribe, Air Nomads, Earth Nation, but just give me the standard loose robes that my wife can like sew together.
Ooh, I
We'll
wonder if I
just
can make this
decide.
Zuko action figure, but then I have to
Ooh,
do the scar. Hmm.
I should be the boulder just so I can quote the boulder all day.
This actually looks like it'll be hard to make. I should do something easy. Also, I might not even do that. It just depends. I might just go static again because it's so easy for me compared to
Static
like a
gets
full.
a
Yeah,
warm
static gets
reception every
always
time.
gets a warm reception. Yeah,
Not to
and
mention
I
you're the
love it.
only static every time. That's a bonus.
Yeah, remember that guy was like, "There's always a static." I'm like, that guy
That's
was me
literally
last
right.
year.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's right there. I did enjoy going as Bane because who doesn't want to go as Bane? But I don't have a high tolerance for like costume discomfort,
Mm.
and so definitely the more casual is gonna be my suit. But I did love trying my best Bane impression. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
Trying my best Bane impression.
That was fun because you'll come across a Joker and well, I will as Batman, I will come across a Joker and it's automatically let's live out a scene right here,
It's
which is fun.
in
Yeah.
that year we came across some incredible Jokers.
Oh yeah, I still remember the guy in the nurse
The
Joker
actual Heath
costume.
Ledger guy, yeah, he was
Yeah.
incredible, and he was kind of method acting the whole
Yeah,
day, right?
he was
Did
walking around with that like ignition key bomb switch
you
kind of.
didn't catch him out of
Yeah.
character either? He was in it all day. He was method until the end.
Yeah.
We remember you, guy. If you're out there, it impacted us. I know it's like a meme or on Twitter or whatever, but like cosplaying as Ben, so every time Uncle Ben, so every time you see a Spider-Man, you lay down like you're dying.
So,
I mean, it sounds awful, but it's kind of clever.
mhm.
Props to those people. Hey, Chris, anything else you need to cover?
I have nothing else to cover.
I wanted to mention that I watched all of Infinity Train in 4 days, 5 days.
Did you?
I did, and I loved
Oh,
I loved season one, and I liked seasons two, three, and four. I
yeah, I love season one. I think I liked season three maybe the best because I think season three got dark,
It did.
like in a good children's kind of way.
I think they
Like,
didn't they didn't end season three as maybe as good as I wanted to, but it did get pretty dark. But it was my favorite of those three. I liked all three of those. I'm not trying to bash on them, but they
Yeah.
did miss on kind of some of the initial charm of not knowing about the train at all.
Yeah.
That was a big part of it for me. So I did like one,
I don't
but it
think I
made me.
really liked season four.
Uh,
Like,
it was interesting dynamic to have the set of friends in there. That was kind of neat.
yeah. I don't know. It's just, mm, I don't know. There's something about it. I think because I went in, I don't know, I've only watched it the once. Those other three seasons I've watched at least two times. But I'm really hoping that they make season five that gives us like the conclusion of, I forgot her name, Amelia. They give us the conclusion of Amelia's story
Yeah,
because she
give her
really
her
is.
own full season kind of would be
Yes,
great. I
yes.
liked two the least. I think
With
maybe
the
even a little
what was the
less
deer's
than
name?
four. I liked Alan Dracula. Alan Dracula
Alan
was good,
Dracula.
but
Yeah.
I didn't. There's something about what did they call RT MT tulips her reflection. What did they call MT?
I forgot.
I forget what it stands for. But it was weird that was such a big role in this story for me. I don't know. It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like I said, I still really liked it all. So thanks for recommending it, even though it made me feel feelings, and I don't like to do that
Oh,
very
yeah.
often. But it did.
I feel like season one may probably made me feel the most feelings. I don't know. I made a whole freaking video essay about it.
It
It
season one
wasn't
was
really a
good,
video
and
essay, but
the charm of coming to understand what the train actually is and is all about was a really big
yeah,
part of it for me. So that's why it maybe
yeah.
gets a little boost.
Also, yeah, also the train is like not right at that point in time.
Yeah, totally different train.
Yeah.
And so hey, go watch Infinity Train on HBO Max if you haven't yet. I would say, would you say that's a like a show for? I'm gonna say young teens, maybe a
I say
smidge before that.
everybody. I think everyone.
That's
Like
reasonable.
my daughter loves it. Like she's still, like I've watched season four without her because she was taking too long, and she's still like, "Dad, we need to finish watching season four." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
On your
Like
time,
sure,
kid.
yeah, sure. Whatever. She's really into Infinity Train. Um,
Is it? This is a stupid question, and the only reason I'm asking is because when I watch it on HBO Max, there was like one point, just a single point that I saw, and it's like unrelated title, which is like, all right, it's unrelated. Why are you putting it there? But unrelated Demon Slayer or whatever. It's like, how's that connected? Or was it just telling me to go watch Demon Slayer, or what was
that's weird. I don't think Demon Slayer was on HBO Max.
it? And it's not. It's a Netflix Demon Slayer movie, right?
Yeah, Demon Slayer's on yeah, you can watch it on Netflix.
There was
I think
just
you can
like a
also watch it on
weird
Hulu.
little thing
But
where it's like unrelated, but it was part of the content. Like I don't think it was a like an external HBO thing. It was like in the content itself.
you're using my HBO Max, right?
Well, I mean, don't tell HBO that, but yeah.
Well, they have HBO Max with like ads and
No, I was
no,
watching yours
seriously,
for
maybe.
sure. Been
Oh,
abusing it
okay.
a lot lately for what did I watch? Infinity Train, Rick and Morty. I've been abusing it pretty heavily, actually.
Good.
But
It shouldn't be abused. I don't watch it enough, I don't think.
it's my favorite streaming service. A, because it works, so suck at Hulu. And B, I don't know. I don't really have anything bad to say about Netflix. I'm just more into HBO Max stuff at the moment. Hulu
Yeah.
pisses me off so much. Ugh,
I hate the UI on Hulu.
it's off. It's the
Thing,
worst
I don't
UI.
really love it on I think the only app that I really love the UI on is Netflix, but no one wants to copy them because they want to be different.
I'm fine with HBO Maxes, and it always works, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
So that's more important.
Some people don't experience that. That's interesting. Some people are like HBO Max is always just airing out.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, well, I,
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone. I won't pretend to, but
It
for me, I've
doesn't
had zero HBO Max errors,
it,
and
do- it's not
lots of Hulu errors. So
it
many
doesn't
Hulu
air
errors.
out on me that much. Dude,
Sometimes
I
with
think
Hulu, like if I try to watch Hulu on a desktop, sometimes I literally can't get into the service, and then the next day it'll work, and then the day after that, it won't let me in, and then like all on desktop, and
hmm,
then I have to give up and go to an app on a different device.
who has been tripping a little bit lately. Like I'll watch an episode and I get to about four-fifths into it, and then it just stops and it picks up the next episode. And it's like,
Um,
why you do that?
Unless I have nothing bad to say about HBO or Netflix at the moment, other than just more into the HBO Max shows. But I did like Apple's for what did we have Apple TV for a week, and they had a decent UI. I tried it on app and desktop, and it worked both places. So
That
that's
that
good.
like no content though.
There's very little. For all I know, on Apple TV, if you asked me what was on there, I was like Ted Lasso and a musical comedy called
Yes, I watched.
Schmigadoon.
I watched that musical. I watched the first episode of that musical comedy, which seemed interesting because I like
What's the male actor? I can we
Keegan Michael Key
Yeah, yeah. And I mean he's
Cecily
great and
Strong. Is
everything. And
that
the
her
other
name?
lady is an SNL
Yes, I love her
lady.
on SNL for some reason.
Can you remind me of her name? Do you know off the
I
top of your head?
think it's Cecily Strong.
Okay. And I mean, she's always funny, so it's like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch it, but I see the appeal at face value.
I liked the first episode, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch the other episode, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's been
When
trial's over.
season 2 of Ted Lasso finishes up, and
Yes.
we use Chris's email to watch that, we will
Yeah.
let you know what we think of Schmigadoon.
Did you have to put in any
I did.
credit card information? Oh, dang it.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that I was able to cancel it before the end of the week, but so that you could still use it through the end of the week. Like you were able to turn off the auto renew. Like you can put your credit card in and sign up,
Yeah.
and then you can like
Uh,
turn off the auto renew right away. So it's not like that. You got to shut it off on Wednesday or you're gonna get charged, kind of thing.
I
So
was asking because like, I
because
wonder
it's
how many
garbage.
emails I can use to get a free
I
trial.
have one burner email that I have like one burner email and a different like a bank card too.
Yeah,
Also.
I have one credit card. The number is. I'm kidding.
Uh,
I have,
well, I was
I have
thinking
one
about that.
debit
Like,
and one
if we use
credit.
my wife's, because you probably have to have an Apple ID, and my burner account doesn't have an Apple ID, but I could use my wife's,
Mm,
and then the other credit card. That well, like one's credit, one's bank, I guess.
yeah.
But I
There's a-
presume if it's not the same number,
Yeah.
but you
And
have to have
then
an Apple ID.
same,
Is the thing.
different number, different email,
Yeah,
different credit card number, different email. Yeah. The thing is, I won't really need it for when Ted Lasso comes on. So
that's yeah, and then we've got a whole year after that to figure out the next,
yeah.
unless we get really into Schmigadoon.
Oh my gosh, I'm so mad at Sprint / T-Mobile. Like, because they're like, oh, you can get Apple for free. And I was like, oh, cool. I already get Hulu for free for some reason from Sprint. And I could just drop that and get like the Disney bundle or whatever. So I went to go do it and I was like, nah, you don't have like the expensive enough service. You can't get it for free. And I was like, dang it.
I do. That's crap. First of all, I do. We talked about all these UIs. I do kind of like the Disney UI for what it is, but there's too much in Disney.
I like the
Stupid.
Disney UI that they show you. They're pretty consistent with how many boxes, images are showing you, buttons to click on, facings, I guess, thumbnails. That's the word I'm looking for. They're consistent with it, and it's a pretty good number, right? And then also um, that, so I like that aspect of it. Because like sometimes Hulu will be like, here's 4 things you could watch. Then it's like, here's 2. Then it's like, here's 1. And then you keep scrolling down, like, okay, here's 4 again. Here's 1. And it's like, why are you like this?
It's unsettling to see that they can't come up with 4 recommendations for me from a category.
Yeah.
But I hate. Sorry, the point I'm getting to here is that I hate ESPN Plus with a passion, because even though, and I know if you just read, it's fine. I get that. But as a consumer, I get to say that I don't want to read. But they show everything when you click. Like you just have the ESPN app or whatever, and it shows everything. But then you can only select the ESPN Plus things to watch. But when you first open the app, you get to see all the things that you could watch, but you can't. And I don't like that. It's a tease.
Hmm.
But whatever. That's our review of streaming service UIs. Didn't know you were
I feel like
getting
we,
that one today.
I feel like we talked about this before. Real
I've
quick, I want to say,
complained about Hulu before,
like,
that's for sure.
these action figures are the same cost, if not less, than most pops. And this is, I think, way better than a pop. Not for one, like pops.
And that's I said, that's coming from a guy who owns a couple pops.
Yeah,
That's decent praise.
yeah.
I appreciate the consistency of pops boxes and packagings. Like how many pops could you fit on a shelf if you had them all in their
Mm.
boxes? And it was like
That is true.
If that's the way you go, like you see people with walls of them, not my thing, but I like it's very satisfying to see like a wall of consistently sized boxed pops. It's very appealing. But we've reviewed toy brands, UIs, and what's the other thing? We reviewed news, if that's a thing. So thanks for sticking with us through this strange accumulation of thoughts and opinions. We're very grateful that you stopped by, as always.
And thank you for watching the Ted Lasso episode that you did. That was random. Another thing. We will get back to more regularly scheduled episodes.
We will. All these things we got to do to stretch out Korra before we have to like.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't have great options, because we have a lot of great options, but actually making the decision of what to do next is intimidating to me personally, at least. So procrastinating kind of as much as humanly possible.
But I believe our next episode we'll be reviewing.
It's a good one. Metal Clan.
The Metal Clan. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched that today in anticipation that we'll record it today.
Metal Clan and Old Wounds we'll record those in a single sitting, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seeing as how those episodes obviously.
Those could definitely be like a part 1 and part 2 without a doubt.
It could. I presume that we won't literally do it that way, but for us it'll feel like that, and that feels right.
Yeah.
I would hate for us to have to split up that conversation. That'd be weird. But hey, so join us then. Thank you so much for a couple weeks of odds and ends episodes. Let us know your thoughts on UIs and action figures. We'd love to hear it all. My name's Shawn. That's Chris Ford, a.k.a. The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter fame. It's been Avatar Last Podcasters. Thanks, and we will see you next week.